Hi, everyone. I'm here with Ed Thomason, who's the sales manager for Impact Crates. And as a lot of you may have heard, there's been a lot of problems with dogs flying. So what we're going to try to do is give you a little bit of information, things to think about when flying dogs or traveling with dogs. So Ed, why don't you talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on flying with dogs, traveling with dogs, keeping them safe, and so forth.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. The first thing you need to think about is the safety of your animal, where you're flying to, what airline you're flying with, the preparation that should go into the dog crate that you're flying your dog, whether it's excess baggage or cargo or checked baggage in a bag under a seat. But for this instance, we'll just say it's checked baggage. One of the first things we do is you make sure you have the appropriate size crate. The airlines are changing daily these laws, and today it's very difficult to fly with animals. But knowing that, the dog has to stand up, have 3 inches of clearance above the head, turn around and lay down with ease. So make sure you have the appropriate size crate for the airline, not necessarily for what you may think for the airline regulations. The next thing that I would recommend is the night before, I always make sure the dogs are comfortable in the crate. I take my water bucket, I freeze it in my freezer. So when I take my dog to the airport, the water is frozen and it de-thaws, if you will, throughout the flight. So this is not splashing around on the animal. Be prepared, have the right documentation that you need. Make sure you have your health certificate. Most airlines require you have a food bowl and a water bowl, some sort of absorbent material in the bottom, whether it's paper, a pad, a blanket. Again, it's all about the security and safety of your animal. Make sure you have a new crate. If you use plastic crates, I can't let you guys know enough. Make sure it's a good one. Make sure it's not cracked already. Make sure it can hold up to a little bit of beating because, unfortunately, that's what happens under these planes. And make sure, more than anything, that your dog is comfortable in the dog crate. That's where we would start.
So, Ed, tell me a little bit about differences in crates. There's so many different kinds of crates now that are made. Some folks still ride in trucks and vans and cars with their dogs loose. What do you think about that?
I think that's the worst mistake you can make. First of all, if you're in an accident and your dog is loose, your dog's going to be gone. Whether the dog unfortunately passes due to the injury that it's going to receive from an accident, or it just gets out and gets scared and loose and it runs away. Ironically, I can tell you a real personal story that my mother was T-boned, or rear end, before I was born, and she, you guys know me, had AMSTAPs, and in a bad accident in Northern California, and the dogs were loose. The dog got out, ran through the freeway in the heat of the summer, and burnt all of its pads off of its foot, and was really, really, really hurt for years to come. So that's just a bad idea. So I don't ever tell you that. I don't recommend putting 2 dogs in one crate either. One crate, one dog. But as far as the wide variety of options, here with Impact Dog Crates, sure, we're proud of our product, and we know we make the strongest, safest, most secure product in the world. But that doesn't mean that we don't know other people make good products too. So, whatever brand you choose, just make sure you have a good one. Obviously, there's some distinct advantages with an aluminum crate versus a plastic crate, and I'll talk a little bit about those. The aluminum our crates specifically are designed to take an impact and absorb the energy and express the energy through the crate. So that's why they dent, like a car, right? It's designed exactly like a car. A plastic crate is quite different. If you took your plastic Tupperware at home or a crate and you push it in and it immediately pushes itself back out, well, what happens there is that when you push the energy in, the energy goes into the box and then goes right back out. So the energy actually affects what the contents is. We want, in the aluminum market, we try to design something that absorbs that energy much like a vehicle and then expresses the energy out of it. Aluminum itself is not hot. It doesn't overheat. That's a misconception as well. Airplanes are made out of aluminum, as a reference. It can withhold hundreds to thousands of pounds of pressure. As you can see, I'm a big guy, and we're sitting on one of our crates right here. We can put over 1,000 pounds of weight on top of this dog crate, and it won't budge. They're not as heavy as one thinks. That's probably the biggest misconception. People walk up to our booth and see our products, and they instantly lift it, and they're like, whoa, their eyes light up. Well, this is not nearly what I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of advantages to go into aluminum product versus a plastic. Obviously, the longevity. is another major one. It's a little pricier than a plastic crate, but you're going to have it a lot longer. I think it's all the tests that have been done in the world, it's proven to be safer too.
Great. Thank you, Ed, so much. So the most important thing to remember, guys, please keep your dog safe. Till next time.